Welcome back to Stories from the River. I'm Heather Greenwood, back in our Ashley store in Pineville, North Carolina with episode 3 of our General Manager series. And I'm super excited to be back here today with 2 amazing general managers at Broad River Retail. I am joined by Troy Walker and Jason Sessoms. Gentlemen, welcome to Stories from the River.
Oh, hey Heather, it's great to be
excited to be here.
Yes.
Welcome to Stories from the River, a show in which we go behind the scenes at Broad River Retail.
So for our listeners and viewers at home, will you guys introduce yourselves, who you are, what you do at Broad River Retail, where you work, and how long you've been with us? Jason, kick us off.
All right. Well, hey, I'm Jason Sessoms. I am the GM down in Aiken now. I've been with the company since 2017. I think it was September 2017. I started in Augusta. I've been in the Aiken, Augusta area the whole time. So I've been a GM the whole time, and I love it. So time has flown by. I can't believe it's been 8 years now. So
it has flown by.
Yeah,
I remember when you started, Jason.
Yep.
So it has flown by. Troy, what about you?
Well, my name's Troy Walker. I am the general manager of the Columbia Bloodline, and I started with Broad River November the 3rd, 2022. And I actually started as a co-manager with Jason in Augusta. And I've been running Columbia, it'll be 2 years in November.
Wow, it has flown by. And I
Yes,
hear that, you're one of the few people that you like in the company is Jason.
That's very true.
You know.
Jason, Dana.
But how can you not like Jason?
You're right. He's such a likable person.
He is.
And Troy is too. He's like a big teddy bear, but he tries to be
plays
all
all
big and bad.
tough, but he's really huggable.
Yes, he
I
really
get that.
is. He
Okay.
really is.
So, Jason, you've been with us for some time now. You've seen a lot of different things, and throughout that, you've seen our company grow and change. Over those 8 years, tell me how you've seen the general manager role change.
Wow. When I was thinking about this, I was like, man, I could spend 30 minutes talking about that. I'll do this quick. So my first day with the company, and this is kind of the laugher one, my first day with the company was at an RX in Fort Mill, like my day plus my day one. And so I remember coming in there and we had like a rave. Remember we used to jump up and down and all that. Okay. But what's changed is, so once we got done with my first month, I got sent to Augusta, and I remember asking the question, what do I need to do? And they say, and I was told sell furniture. And at that time, I think we had 16, 17 stores, and we had 16 or 17 stores doing it different ways. And over the years, we have gotten better, and Charlie and Manny have invested in us, and then Stacy came on board, and Carl came on board, and now we have how many stores we have doing it all the same way. So when we hire somebody, we can train a process. When we hire new people, we can train a process. I think that's the biggest thing. There's all these little nuances in it that are different, but as a GM, when you come on board now, it's not just go sell furniture, it's here's the way we do it, go do it. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, we have changed. I think about that too, and over the years, how the process is much smoother, how you see more consistency. And you've seen that firsthand in multiple locations, so that's awesome. So Troy, this might be a little bit of a tricky question, but if you could describe the typical day, and I realize they're not typical, but what does a normal-ish day look like as a general manager?
Heather, I think that's probably different for everyone. For me, I'm a very competitive person. And so I kind of gear everything around sports. So like every day, it's kind of like you get to walk into that game that you're playing every day. You get to meet up with your HFCs. You get to have your morning meeting. You get to hype everyone up. Here's what we have to do to go win, and let's go win. It's a lot of fun. Like you're in a location to where you can create what kind of atmosphere you want to be in. And so all day long is really and truly just mindset, win, win, win.
I've heard a lot of people talk about mindset so far. I heard that from Dana. I heard it last episode from Chris. Tell me about that mindset, Troy. Why is it so important in what you do?
So it's kind of like, like Mike Tyson once said, everybody has a plan until they get hit in the mouth. That's when your mindset either goes one way or the other. So when you're having a cancellation, or you might have a day to where traffic's not as heavy as you want, or things aren't going as well, it's your job as a manager to take and recreate that mindset, to just change the atmosphere, change the temperature.
I love that. That's big shoes.
Yeah.
But you have the mindset to drive it in what you do every day.
Sure.
I love that. Okay. So Jason, you recently opened a new store. You were in
Yes.
Augusta and you recently came to the Aiken market. And as you went to open that store, you brought some memory makers with you that you work with in Augusta, and you hired some new people. So tell me particularly about the GM's role in both hiring and bringing on top talent, and then most importantly, retaining that top talent. How do you play a role in that?
Not just a role, I would say the role. One thing we did with the Augusta-Aiken transition is we poured time and energy into the training. Because we've got a lot going on as GMs, and if we want to take the shortcut and get them to the floor quickly, we're not doing our new folks, we're not giving them the tools they need to be successful long term. So I think we did some extra trainings. We had vendors that our vendor partners are great. They wanted to help give extra training. So, we got extra training, and those first 3 to 6 months for new HFCs are huge. You have to pour into them. You can't just bring them on, show them, and then let them go. Like, you've got to pour into them, give them the C4 training they're supposed to have, give them the vendor training. If you do that, if you pour into them and teach them how to fish, then they'll be successful and they'll feel valued. But if you just let them go, they're going to struggle, and then they're going to wonder why, where's all this money coming from? Well, it's coming from this process we didn't show you. So I think the biggest thing we did well was really, really invest in the training and the time. So
yeah, that matters. Absolutely.
Yeah, it does.
Now, Troy, you came into a little bit of a different situation in Columbia. You have a little bit more of a tenured team. They've been around a little bit longer. Maybe they're a little bit more set in their ways. How do you come in as a GM and help people become more successful or to go surpass the goals that they have for themselves?
Well, first of all, you have to let everyone know that you're there for them. And so you have to establish that relationship to let them know that all I'm doing is trying to help you succeed more in life. And then you're also going to hear, a lot of times you're going to hear, right people, right seat. As true as that is, it's also right people, right people. So my team is so successful now because when I come in, we moved a lot of people around. There were some people that didn't work well in my management style. There was people from other locations that didn't work well in the management style they were in. And so I've brought talent from other stores that may not have been doing as well that are now $1.5, $1.6 million riders in the location that I'm in now. So it's really and truly just building the team.
And how does that feel? To watch them grow, to watch them succeed?
The most satisfying moment that I've had as a general manager in Broad River is knowing that when I first started, the first $1 million memory maker gala that we went to, the South probably had 4, and I took 7 with me last year. So it's a proud moment to see them achieve and to see them buy their first cars, buy their first houses, get married. That's the moments that you work for as a general manager.
We worked together a little bit, and it was great working with him. And I've learned a lot from Troy in the little bit of time we've been here. He went in there, and even though there was tenure, Troy let everybody know, this is the way Broad River does it, this is the way I do it, and this is the way they did it. And so we could either get on board and help make money. And if you do it the Broad River way and you do it the Troy way, you will make money. And so it was great to see.
I love that. I love that. So Troy, you have only been here relatively a short amount of time in comparison to, Jason and I have been here forever, but you've been very successful very quickly. How do you find success in the general manager role, and what does winning really look like?
Well, I think I almost answered that question with the last question. I didn't even mean to, but it does. to find success in the general manager role, you have to measure your success off of the success of the people who work for you and work with you. If they're successful, you will be successful. And if you every day you go in and all you're concerned about is helping someone else, everything else is going to work out.
That's so well said. You can't think about it enough how much you guys do for your people every day. You both have pretty big teams. You work with a lot of people every day, but seeing their success and seeing it unfold is really just a beautiful place to be. So in my first episode, I talked to Dana and I talked to Renee, and I asked them, what do they want me to ask you guys? What would be a great question for me to bring to the leaders? And so the question that Dana proposed for you all, and I'll let both of you answer this one, is who has been the biggest influence in your life, and how does that influence show up every day in what you do?
So I think the greatest influence in my life on a personal level would probably be my grandfather. I grew up, I didn't really have a father figure in my life, so he was my father figure. And no matter who you ever asked, you could always, the one thing that everyone would have said about him was he was a good man. And that's how, at the end of the day, like, if someone says something about me, I don't, he was a winner, he was competitive, he was all, but at the end of the day, I wanted to be able to say, he actually cared. Like, Troy cared for us. So, and then on a professional level, I'm not just gonna say this because she is my leader, but Dana has probably been the largest influence in my professional career. I've had a lot of people that I've worked for that weren't as good as she is, and like to have someone that genuinely cares about you and listens to you and just really and truly will be there for you no matter what you need. It makes performing easier. It's so much easier to come to work every day and perform for a person like that than it is to come to work and perform for somebody that just looks at you like you're a number.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well said. Thank you, Troy.
And I think one thing you're going to see in this is that he and I are a lot more alike than you would think from afar. My biggest personal influence was my grandfather. I called him Papa until he passed when I was 23. And a lot of the same things. Like, he taught me how to interact with elders. He taught me how to be polite with people. He taught me how to respect others. He just taught me how to treat people in general and to be a good person. He taught me belief in the Lord. And so I've learned my love of the outdoors. If you know me, my love of fishing, it all came from my grandfather. And that's not to say, like, my family, my dad and mother were great. So I had the Leave It to Beaver type family. But my grandfather was great. And professionally, I've worked with a bunch of great people with Lowe's and H.H. Gregg and now here. And by far, the manager I've had that I enjoy the most, I respect the most, is Dana. And she takes our feedback, she asks questions, she lets us talk, she listens. Now she'll tell us we're wrong, and she has her ways of doing it, which are really, really neat. What's one of them? I know you think you believe this, or things like that, but she has a way about her with us that is awesome. So we love Dana, and she's made working here a lot better.
When a person listens to listen instead of listens to respond, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
Now, the series is about the general manager, but you guys opened the door, so I have to ask,
Sure.
In your role, why is your multi-unit leader, in this case Dana, why are they so important to you? What is it that she's doing, and why is that leadership so important for you all and your success?
For me, I would say, like, we have a general day, we have a general outline, but with people and customers and vendors and conference call, like, you have a general outline, but it doesn't always follow that, right? Dana has a way of taking the chaos of retail, even as we try to contain that chaos into a process. She has a way of taking that and making it make sense for us. She has a way of taking that, and somehow she meets our role mold into each one of who we are. But still doing it the way we're supposed to be doing it. So she really has a way of taking all that chaos and making it so it makes sense for each individual person. And that's because she listens. And she puts an effort into listening to us and giving us feedback and shaping how we do things. So it's really awesome.
Yeah, she takes, in our day-to-day life, everything's changing. I mean, retail's rapidly changing. So there's a lot of noise. And I think what Dana does best is she's able to take all the noise and turn it into one sound that our entire region can hear the same. And then she controls our mindsets. Like, even though, that's what we're doing all day long, like, when you have 12, 13 people pulling on you all day long and you're pouring into these people all day long, your cup gets empty. And so you have to have someone that is a supportive factor to fill your cup back up. And Dana does that. She pours into us and she keeps our cup full. That way we can fill others.
It's pretty powerful. Thank you for sharing that. So as you think back on your time at Broad River, we talk a lot about growth and development and investing in others. Jason talked about training earlier, and we like to try to do a lot, whether it be a sleep summit or a manufacturing tour, RX meetings, which you referenced. When you think about those, talk about how Broad River has invested in you professionally over your years here.
I can think back, the first thing it invested with me, I remember I wasn't in Augusta but like 2 or 3 days, and Charlie came down and walked the store with me. And I don't know, I thought that was great. I know when they gave a job offer, Charlie and Manny came and we had lunch. But Charlie walked in the store with me. We talked about tags and furniture, and that was the first week. And that has developed into, like, we've had training sessions, but one thing I go back to, and we were talking about it on the way here, was the original Purpose Summit. And so, like, I tell people that, because there's not as many of us as I would like around that went to that, but like that original Purpose Summit was powerful and really got us to understand that we're not here, because I hadn't been here that long then. Like, this company is not about being here to make money. This company is truly here to furnish life's best memories. And going through that Purpose Summit, and then everything we do afterwards, like, we're getting ready to do the Franklin Covey stuff. We've done another Purpose Summit. We do our sleep summits. We do our RXs, which we may complain about traveling, but we know it's putting time and effort back into growing us. And so, like, that Purpose Summit and then everything after has just, it made me realize how great a company Broad River is. So it's been awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for saying that. Troy?
I was sitting there trying to think, like, the most moment that I feel like the company's really poured into my development, and it's hard to think of it. And then I'm like, why am I struggling? Well, it's because we do it so much that it doesn't become a moment. It's all the time. Like, we are constantly pouring in to our HFCs, our managers, and everyone to improve their development. And if you don't ever stop and step back and think about it, this company's so great that that's the norm here. Like, it's like getting flowers every day. Like, like you almost, I don't want to say you take it for granted, but it is. This is the normal relationship at Broad River Retail. It's every day is getting better.
Good. I love that. I love that it feels very normal.
Yeah.
And it's not something new or surprising. I'm excited you talked about Franklin Covey, Jason, because you guys are about to go through leadership development as a general manager population, and we're super excited for that. If you had to sum up your role in one word, what is one word you would use to describe being a general manager at Broad River Retail? And Troy's smirking, so he's either thinking really hard or he has the word ready.
One word.
One word. It's a lot of pressure.
I'm going to steal from Josh Stanley before he gets up here, because I think he likes to use thermostat. So.
Why thermostat? I have heard that before.
Because we set the temperature, and by setting the temperature, it's everything that happens in that building every day is set by us. So we're the thermostat.
I love that.
I'm going to use the word general. Because just like in the Army, like, the general is, sometimes you have to be the first person on the battlefield, you have to be the last person on the battlefield, Sometimes you have to drag your wounded. Sometimes like you are this store. This is your battlefield. It's yours to go win or lose every single day.
Yeah. For those folks that come on or are looking to come on board or have come on board and think, this is an office manager. This is not an office manager. Like a GM with Broad River, you're out there in it. And that's what makes it awesome. So
it's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Out there in it every day.
In it every day.
I get to be out there with people selling. You get to take care of your internal guests, your external guests. Like it's never a dull moment.
I love that. So if somebody were listening or watching and thinking about a career at Broad River, in your role, in any role, and Jason, you kind of already said it, but what would that advice be for them? Why should they take that leap?
I mean, hopefully someone would like to come onto a company to where they can be the second best GM at the company.
I mean, it's okay. Second, maybe third.
No, it's a good company. It's somewhere that you can grow, and obviously, as you can tell, you can have your personalities can blossom. This is a personality business, and Broad River does not try to put a stamp on that or anything like that. They let you be you.
When I do interviews, I've done so many now, I tell people, like, Broad River, it's the first privately owned company I've worked for. And it is by far the best company I've worked for because of that. And I'll tell people all the time, so we're always trying to make things better for HFCs, and every once in a while we'll screw up. But the great thing about Broad River and Charlie and Manny and you guys, like you're always getting feedback and you're always looking to get better. And so when we screw up, it just makes us stronger. And so like, you can make your money, you can influence others, you can influence your team, you can influence your family. Like it's just, Broad River's been a great place to work. And so, yeah, come on down. It's great.
Good. Well, thank you guys for spending some time with me. Thank you for all that you do for the memory makers, both inside your stores and out. You guys both make a huge impact here at the River. So thank you so much for your time today and all that you do. To our listeners at home, thank you for listening. Thanks for checking us out and spending time with us today. Come back next as we have 2 more general managers joining us, Rick and Josh. Excited to hear from them very soon. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to Stories from the River. To check out more episodes, visit storiesfromtheriver.com. To watch this episode, go to youtube.com/@storiesfromtheriver. Join us again next week, and remember to like, rate, and subscribe to the podcast.